I'm Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill Bureau Chief for City News and Rogers Radio. Earlier today, a new study was released by the Institute for Research on Public Policy, which identifies a series of problems with Canada's parental benefits program and suggests a series of major changes to the system to make it more inclusive for Canadian families. Here to talk a little bit more about the study and the possible solutions is Jennifer Robson, the author of the study and a professor at Carleton University. So Jennifer, what are the concerns you have with the system as it is right now?
So this is a system that's 46 years old. It was built at a different time for Canada, right? It has been working really well for a lot of families, but the concerns that I have to do with accessibility. Too many moms are not qualifying, too many couples are not qualifying for benefits. And I think that the government has good reasons to do what it promised in the election, to extend benefits to 18 months. And I have some solutions and some ideas for them about how to make that more accessible and more inclusive so that more families can actually take advantage of that benefit.
So why aren't these women and families being qualified for these benefits?
So what's happening is that 1 in 5 women who are new moms have been working the last 2 years before they've given birth or adopted, but maybe they don't have enough insurable hours. Right now you've got to have 600 insurable hours. So maybe they fall short there. Maybe they're in uninsurable employment, right? So self-employed, dependent contractors, freelancers, right? The kind of the gig economy, which that's an important change to how people work. And we also know that coverage or accessibility into the system increases as your family income goes up. So, you know, for a government that's worried about growing the middle class, about helping those who are in the middle class and those especially who are working hard to join it, I see some issues that need to be addressed.
All right. So what are the solutions to this? How do we fix the parental benefit system to make it more inclusive for Canadians?
A couple of things. I'm going to talk about some short-term solutions, and then I think there's a longer-term conversation that needs to get started. In the short run, I think that there's some targeted things that the government could do to better help those families who are in the low and modest income, kind of like $40,000 and below. So things like a targeted family supplement that's already part of the system, but it's only reaching 4.5% of families. Not enough. And it's only paying them $41 a week on average. Probably not enough to make a difference in terms of affordability. We can do some things in terms of the eligibility rules. So Quebec, for example, has moved to a system where it's not the number of hours that you work, it's a minimum number of insurable earnings. Makes it a lot easier to qualify. And then finally, better coordination with Canada Child Benefits. That's been a centerpiece social policy for this government. And so maybe looking at ways to time the benefit eligibility so that you get the maximum child benefit when you really need it, right? Which is when somebody's off on leave and their income has gone down. Over the long term, I think we need to start having a conversation in this country about whether or not special benefits like maternity, like parental benefits, other special benefits like sickness benefits, whether or not these are best suited in the employment insurance system. EI benefits were never really intended to cover family benefits like this, and it was originally thought this was just going to be a little niche program when we created maternity benefits. It's now eating up $1 in $5 of every EI dollar that the government pays out. That's a lot.
All right, we'll have to wait and see what the government does. Thank you very much, Jennifer Robson, the author of the report from the IRPP on parental benefits. And I'm Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill Bureau Chief for City News and Rogers Radio in Ottawa.